Today I'm going to show you an easy recipe for ground beef and potatoes. This is gonna be good. So the ingredients I'm going to use are fairly simple to get. 1 pound of lean ground beef, and this is lean. If you're using something like 80/20, you might have to remove some of that rendered fat. I have 1.5 pounds of gold potatoes. You can also use russet, and you can leave the skin on, but these have a tinge of that green, so I am going to peel them. I'm also going to use 1 onion, and I am using au jus gravy mix, but brown gravy mix works well. Actually, originally my aunt does this recipe and she uses brown gravy mix, but it says here to add 3 tablespoons of flour to make it thicker. I'm leaving it out today. It should work. I'm also going to season with garlic powder, onion powder. I also will be using salt and pepper. Very simple ingredients. Most people have these in their pantry, so let's get started. To start, in a preheated pan, I'm going to add cooking oil, and I am going to saute the onions. I've sliced the onions into rings. You can chop them if you prefer. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt, and I'm going to saute these until they are aromatic and translucent. Now I'm going to add my ground beef. This is 1 pound going in, and I'm just going to break that apart. And I'm going to season this with a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of granulated garlic powder, and a teaspoon of granulated onion powder. Also some cracked black pepper, maybe like a 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm just going to continue cooking and breaking it apart until everything is browned. While the ground beef is cooking, I'm going to prep my potatoes. I've already peeled and sliced them into 1/4 inch thickness. I'm going to add some cooking oil, and I'm going to add salt. Here I have cracked black pepper, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on top, along with granulated garlic powder and granulated onion powder. With clean hands, I'm going to combine and coat the potato slices. For the gravy packet, I'm going to add it into 2.5 cups of cold water and just give that a mix. The suggestion on the package calls for 3 cups of cold water. I'm going to use 2.5, and I think that'll do the trick to get it to thicken. By the way, for those of you that are new to my channel, welcome to Simply Mama Cooks. I'm Angelica. And for those of you that are subscribed, be sure to click that bell notification to get all of my latest videos. I certainly appreciate it. So my ground beef is cooked through and it has browned very well. So I'm going to give that a quick stir. And then I'm going to lower the heat because I'm going to add the gravy mix right into the pan. And I'm going to combine and stir this and bring it up to a gentle simmer. Once it comes up to a gentle simmer, I'm going to shut off the heat. So this recipe is something that my aunt makes for my uncle because he's kind of like a meat and potatoes kind of guy. He doesn't like a lot of veggies or anything fancy in the mix. So this is a typical meat gravy potato type dish. So this is definitely ready. It's not completely thickened, but it's enough because I am going to bake this in the oven. So shut off the heat, and now I'm ready to add the potatoes as a top layer. And all I'm going to do is carefully, because it is hot, I'm just going to add the potatoes in a single layer on top. And if you are using a smaller pan, the pan I'm using is around somewhere between 12 to 14 inches in diameter. But let's say you're using like a cast iron skillet that's about 10 inches. You might have to stack the potatoes on top of each other, but it's so good. And it gives the top sort of like this crusty exterior and then the saucy gravy ground meat at the bottom. It's really good and it's simple. Now that they're all stacked on top, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of this garlic herb salt, just a little bit. And this is going into a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes, uncovered. And after 45 minutes of bake time, it is ready. The potatoes should be tender and cooked through, and that gravy has definitely thickened. So I am going to carefully remove this from the oven, but I want you to look at how golden brown those potatoes are. So good. Once out of the oven, I'm going to garnish with chopped scallions. You could also do chives and parsley. I love that. And this is going right on top. You can let this set for 10 minutes before serving, but I'm digging in. Just be careful because it's still hot. And when my aunt serves this, she likes to serve this on a plate with sour cream and pickled jalapenos on top with extra scallions. It's so good. So this is what's for dinner tonight, and it's very simple. And the best part, I made it all in one pan. Yay! I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it. And thanks for watching.